Is for us, the first couple of days, you're trying to work on just timing things and just technique things. Today, you really got a chance to see, some of the toughness aspects of football and see guys fit up blocks, make tackles coming off of blocks, and it's more realistic to game type situations. So the first day in pads is always exciting, but it's like that for both sides because it's real football.
A good day today?
Yeah, you always have ups and downs when you're going against your own offense. They know you well, we know them well, so there's going to be some good plays, there's going to be some bad plays. But for the most part, the kids played physical. You can correct the mental stuff, but if they can play physical, it gives you a chance.
Who impressed in pads today? Who became a man out there today?
I'm not ready to answer that. Come ask me September 1st, and I'll let you know that. We have some guys that are, obviously veterans that played it, been in the system for, going on their fourth year. So you expect them to stand out a little more than some of the young guys. Some of the old guys like Preston Brown and George Durant and those type of guys, they're always going to be a little farther ahead because they've played the game and played it at, the highest level. As far as the young kids, the jury's still out. It's the first day in pads, and they did some good things, but they also have a long way to go.
This is your chance to see how physical the running backs are too. You got some big bodies back there. What was your impression of that group?
They run hard. That's the expectation. They kind of mirror what we want to do on defense as far as playing physical and out hitting people. That's the mentality that they have on that side of the ball too, and they want to fight for every extra yard, and they run hard. There's a lot of competition back there, so that always brings out the best in everybody. So they were impressive today also.
Coach, heard some good things about a couple of your young guys, Keith Kelsey and Lynn Clark. What did they show you today when the pads went on?
They were physical. They're not afraid of contact, and you can always, go from there. That's a great starting point. They just have to learn how to, play technique and be physical in the framework of our defense. Like I said, we wouldn't have took them out of high school. We didn't think they were going to be physical in pads. And the biggest thing, they have to get used to the size and the athleticism of the offensive linemen and the running backs they're going against. But they look like they belong.
Keith Brown out, how comforting is it to have George to be able to step in there and somebody who kind of knows what everybody's supposed to be doing?
George has always been our swing guy. He's probably the smartest guy on our defense outside of our safeties, and he's a guy that you can go plug in at probably 4 or 5 different positions and we wouldn't miss a beat. That's one of the things that separates him from the other backers is his intelligence and awareness. So, we haven't missed a beat with him moving back outside, and, he's one of those guys that we always feel comfortable that we're going to be in the correct defense with him on the field.
Do you have to game plan for first game without Keith Brown at this point?
At this point, yes. He's out there and he's rehabbing, but we want to make sure, he's going to be as healthy as possible before we put him out there in a live situation.
Do you still expect him to be able to go this season?
Yes, that is the expectation, but, I'm not a trainer. It's one of those things that we're not going to put a kid's, health at risk. We're going to make sure he's going to be at the optimal health to make sure he can go out there, not only help us, but make sure he can go out there and be as productive as he was at the end of the season last year.
All right, guys.
Preston's played since he was a true freshman. What did he show you guys from the get-go that allowed you to have that trust?
Some of the, it's funny you asked that. I just had that conversation with him because you remember he started the Kentucky game and that lasted about 4 plays his freshman year. But he's come, leaps and bounds since his freshman year. Early on, because of the situation we were in the program, he kind of had to start out of necessity because we didn't have a lot of bodies, and we probably threw him into the mix a little too early. But it was trial by fire, and he's kind of grown from there. And he's had to play all 3 positions, which is stunting his growth a little bit, but you could really see him start to come into his own toward the latter half of last year, and he's progressed from there, and he's a kid that's one of the rocks of our defense, and we feel got a chance to be, one of the better players, in the conference.
What about Burgess? What you saw last year in him play, and how has he progressed?
Coming out of high school, he's kind of like the kids I just mentioned earlier. He was just a run and hit guy, didn't play in a structured system. And that's his challenge, this year, is to be able to play within our system and understand where his fits are instead of just being a run and hit guy and just, a see ball, get ball guy. And he's kind of stepping up to that challenge. He still has a little work to do, but his understanding of the defense is getting a lot better.